chance to hear it, so let her tell it. People on the streets say Sabrina speaks. Tune into the show, she will let you know. Tell all your friends and family. Real talk is no joke. You get the news straight up from grassroots and concerns. You can hear with some people gone. So tell all your friends to tune in to the
Good evening,
show.
Cayman. I'm Sabrina Turner, and welcome to Sabrina Speaks, your daily dose of clarity, truth, and community insights. Every weekday from 5 to 6:30 p.m., we're tackling the issues that affect you, from national headlines to grassroots concerns. Whether you're in traffic or winding down your day, this is your chance to hear it straight and speak your truth. So buckle up, Cayman. We're not holding back.
This is the show. We gotta let you know. Now we got to go.
And now here's Sabrina.
Good afternoon, Cayman Islands, and to our Sabrina Speaks family tuning in from near and far. Hello, how are you today? Yeah, I am Sabrina, and if this is your first time to this podcast, welcome to another episode of Sabrina Speaks. Voices of the Islands, conversations for the world, and the podcast where voices rise, stories unfold, and inspiration takes center stage. Yes, we are coming to you live from the beautiful Cayman Islands, and it's Friday. And you know what that means? It's our open mic edition where your voice, your voices, your thoughts, your conversations definitely will be taking center stage here. So we're heading into a long weekend. Can you imagine that? This is the first long weekend here in the Cayman Islands for 2026, because Monday is a public holiday here and we're celebrating our national heroes. Yes, it's Heroes Day here in the Cayman Islands, and a time where we pause to honor the pioneers who built our nation and reflect on the legacy that continues to shape our islands today. So thank you for joining me as we head into this weekend together. I know you could be choosing so much other things to do. Maybe you're on your way. I don't know. Maybe you're turning in from work or at home on your way to have one or three with a few friends. I don't know. I mean, maybe you just decide to hang out in a hammock. The weather has been beautiful today. It's actually hot. It was hot with the smell of the grill, or maybe you're hearing the early knockings of some games of dominoes. Now, that's if you're here in the Caribbean, because I know some of you are in the central US right now. It is brutal. Wind chills of what? -50? Are you kidding me? And oh my gosh, yeah. So maybe you're just one of our many fine men or women putting the finishing touches on preparing your shoes and uniforms because you're participating in the parade on Monday. This is your space to share, to learn, and connect right here on Sabrina Speaks, CMRTV.com. Yes, voices of the islands, conversations of the world. Whatever you're doing right now, I'm just happy that you're with us this evening. Fridays is usually like a little relaxed, but I got a little thing I'm going to share with you in a little bit why I had to get relaxed. Oh God, what a day I had. Yes, but the content you are about to hear, including any discussions or opinions from myself, guests, and our participants, is intended solely for general informational and entertainment purposes. It's not a substitute for legal, medical, or financial advice. So I encourage you to consult with a qualified professional for specific concerns. Bridge Media Limited and all its affiliates disclaims all liability for any decisions or actions taken in reliance on the information presented. 345-936-8255 is the number to call and be a part of the discussion. And don't forget, please don't forget to like, follow, share, and subscribe. Yes, like I said, we're heading in. I see you. Hallelujah. Yeah, that is a hallelujah moment. Trust me. We're heading into the weekend, and I loved today. The weather, that is. My morning was quite interesting. But you know what? Let's get this bit of housekeeping out of the way. The forecast for tonight into tomorrow, compliments of the Cayman Islands National Weather Service. The synopsis is calling for a high pressure system that will continue to dominate the weather pattern across the Northwest Caribbean, allowing for mostly fair conditions across the Cayman area tonight, with a low chance of few sporadic showers. In addition, gentle breeze are expected, gradually becoming moderate by tomorrow. Now, satellite images show a few clouds around the Cayman area. The forecast for tonight calls for fair to partly cloudy skies with a 20% chance of showers. Temperatures will fall to the mid-70s. Winds will be northeast 5 to 10 knots, and seas will be slight to moderate with wave heights of 2 to 4 feet. Tomorrow calls for fair to partly cloudy skies with a 20% chance of showers. Temperatures will rise near the low to mid 80s. You heard it right. Winds will be northeast 10 to 15 knots. Seas will be slight to moderate with wave heights of 2 to 4 feet. Now, the tide, we will have a low tide at 7:09 this evening. There will be a high tide tomorrow morning at 1:16 a.m. and a low tide again at 6:55. High tide will be at 12:57 p.m. tomorrow and another low at 8:06 p.m. So for all of you fishermen who are going out there, it's a long weekend. Maybe you're going to just go out. Yeah, that's your tides. The sun is going to set this evening at 6:12 and it's going to rise tomorrow morning at 7:02. And to enjoy those beautiful evenings, why not plan one for this long weekend or maybe two? The sun will set tomorrow evening at 6:12. Now, the outlook is for similar weather conditions through Sunday. So there you have it. Thank you, all the crew over there at the Cayman Islands National Weather Service, helping us plan our weekend, definitely getting the weather out of the way so that you can pretty much solidify what you're going to do. I mean, you could be just locked in cooking some really, really comfort food because you can't venture out because it's that brutally cold that you can't. We're just, again, thankful to be here in the tropics, celebrating and feeling those breezes still, but temperatures in the 80s, not minus 50. Oh no, good God, I would die. Anyhow, let's say happy birthday to 3-year-old McKenna today. Thank you, all of you guys. One thing I got to give you guys praises. You know, once we do these, I really thank you for sharing the love with me on the Sabrina Turner community activist page. Thank you so much. Thank you for that. And sharing and celebrating little McKenna. I remember when she was born. For the record, this is Miss Joyce Ann's grandbaby. Yeah, this is her little girl. Spoiler, she got her spoiled. She won't spoil her. Yes, but that is Grandma's girl. She's celebrating her 3rd birthday today. And I'm wishing her many, many, many more birthdays and to come, definitely. And I'm hoping Grandma continues to spoil you and Mama too, and Daddy and aunties and uncles, all of them. Yes, 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 yes. Happy birthday, McKenna. Wish you many, many more. And may God continue to bless you from all of us here on the Sabrina Speaks family. And I'm going to go out on a limb and from all of your family here in the Cayman Islands, Jamaica, everywhere they are. Yes, and the United States of America. Many, many more to you, my love. And happy birthday to anybody that I may not have seen or are aware of. Happy birthday to you. Happy anniversary. And if you're just celebrating life, yeah, celebrating the long weekend, celebrating our heroes. Yeah, we got a lot to be thankful for. Well, It's good to be here with you all today. Hey, Marshall. I know we must be only seeing your eyes where you are right now. You so cool. But thank you for tuning in. Always a pleasure to have you here. Yeah, that's what I said too. I'll tell you why I said hallelujah in a couple seconds. Damian Henry is also here with us. Happy Friday. Yeah, what? It's gonna snow for me. I'm cold. I'm not built for this. Look, I don't mind it, but I don't know how you guys can live in it. You psych yourself up. It's good to see a change in climate. If I'm going to go away this time of the year, yeah, I want to go to snow. I prefer it. Change of scenery, change of temperature. I don't mind it. But for all of you who got to live in that, I salute you. Oh my goodness. Thoughts and prayers are with you. We're going to blow some warmth your way, but enjoy, make the best of it, and just be safe. That's all I can say. Don't be stupid. And that's to everybody out there, because you see some of these things on the news and you're like, what the heck were people thinking? Especially if you have to go on the roads. There are literally some states are begging you to stay in. Airlines have been canceling flights ahead of schedule. So hint. Yeah. So oh my goodness. All the best to you anyhow. Real Michelle. Hello, everyone. I'm still alive. Lots of hugs. Hope everyone is well. And I'm quite sure that is TGIF to you as well, Donnie. Always good to have you in the house. Connie Bonnie, where's Jimbo? I thought you and him went for a little 1 or 3. Good evening, Sabrina Speaks, a kinder, gentler world. I can only engage with my ears, not with my hands. Being that I'm just leaving work. Okay, no worries. You got peak. But it's always good to have you here. Real Michelle, as of yesterday, I no longer have a phone to connect to internet. Now I can't call you. Oh, that's sad. Get that sorted out. Quick. Yep, yeah. Soon gone for Super Cat. If you know, you know. Say go for Super Cat, whatever that is. But we giving you your 2 seconds of fame, and good to have you here. Hi, back to you as well. Grateful for ex-neighbor phone, for internet, TV, laptop. Hope the Lottery Bank are enjoying the 50,000 fees taken. Okay. Oh, we got to wish you all the best, Real Michelle. Hey, Jerry, how you doing? Good to have you with us. I figured, get some Milo, get a little Milo. That'll warm you up. Or where you are, they only go hot chocolate. I don't know. That's a British accent, right? A little, but whatever it is, do go some warm porridge. I don't know. I would have on every piece of clothes. Oh Lord, well, just please be safe. I don't know how one can do it. I don't know. What? Oh, for God's sake, people like you. Boy, that feel good. Marshall, what you saying? We are getting snow here tomorrow. Yeah. Yep. Oh, goodness. Yes, Connie Bonnie. But yeah, let me share with you today. Oh, Connie, he resurrected. I've got my eyes and ears on you, Sabrina. Oh, really? You gonna have a hard time keeping hold me this weekend. It's a long weekend, Jimbo. Yeah, it's a long weekend. What a morning, though. I could give you a little chuckle, and I know some of you will laugh with it for it as well. Yes, you are allowed to call 345-986-8255 is the number to call, or you can do the WhatsApp as well, as long as it's respectful and we respect each other. I love your participation. It is open mic here, 345-936-8255. It is open mic Friday. Your voice matters. Just before we dive into some of the headlines for today, let me just share with you what I went through. I'll be with you in 1 second. Let me just tell you how my morning began, because I like to keep it real. My dearly beloved Sandra decided it was time for me to really just go out on my first official outside assignment. Yes, me out in the fields. Oh my God. She tasked me with capturing video footage and image of yeah, the Chamber of Commerce Economic Forum that took place today at the Kimpton. By the way, huge congratulations to, let me just pick them up right now. Just let me say congratulations to Will Panu and the team for a job well done, and the chairman, yes, Mr. Omari Corbin. And, you know, I know you're winding down your time, or Omari, thank you for your service as you wind down your chairmanship. But job well done. I was not able to stay for the entire day because, of course, I have to go live. But let me tell you, anyone who, of course, this is my first time. I was frazzled. First time using my gimbal, first time using this tripod. I was up after 1 this morning trying to go on Eric, he was helping me how to do certain things because, of course, I was sweating bullets. Yeah. I mean, I was sweating bullets, just nervous. Oh my God, you know, I got this high standard that I want to deliver, and I just want to do it well. But I mean, who knew balancing that thing would feel like solving a Rubik's Cube while, you know, juggling? But guess what? I managed to get this gimbal on a tripod, and I'm sure like the 5th image that I took came out just fine as in video. But if you saw me behind the camera, you would actually think I was auditioning for a workout video instead of covering an economic forum. I was sweating bullets. Yeah, I was fine if you asked me, but that's how I felt inside. That's exactly the image there that I felt on, you know. People really embraced me, though. It was really good. Shout outs to everybody who was just there and said hi. Even the media guys, some of them recognized me, and I guess they can tell. New kid on the block. But it was really cool to just be there and just get this assignment done. I'm still trying to upload some of the information, but more information on that to come as well. So yes, your girl survived, even though I felt like that. It was my first outside assignment. It's over, tripod and all, gimbal and all. And I took some still pictures and all that good stuff. So yeah, it was something for me, and I'm just glad it's over. So I don't know. Hence the hair is up. When I tell you sweating, I was nervous of it's not like I did live because you can't do live, but I'll be sharing some of the recaps and more information because there's some good news coming out of there. CMRTV.com has actually done some headlines on it with our ID Now launch. I got a caller on hold and so forth. So let's take the caller and then I'll go into breaking some of the news for you. But congratulations to the Chamber of Commerce, to all of the presenters so far. The governor spoke, our Minister of CBC for Immigration, Michael Miles spoke, Isaac also spoke, and the governor also spoke. But all of this, the real seasoned reporters will bring you this back properly. Good evening, caller. Welcome to Sabrina Speaks. How's your Friday?
Hey, Sabrina. It's cold outside.
Oh, it's cold.
It's cold outside.
You keep it.
It's like, I think like 40 degrees outside. I'm like freezing half to death.
Oh, keep it. You can keep it. What's on your mind?
Oh no, I was just thinking, if you want, I don't know like the demographics of people that like tune in for you guys, but you know, if you want, like, I'm more than happy to like do an interview with you if you want like a younger perspective on the show.
Of course, I think based on the feedback that you got yesterday, and even after the show, people were commending you. I got messages as well, private messages, you know, how well articulated you were. And let me tell you, they really enjoyed it. People only heard like the last 3 to 5 minutes, and they're like, wow, we're going back to hear this gentleman speak, because it was refreshing. One, how you articulate, the mere fact that you are so willing to share, which is what we were asking for here. And I hope that you actually went back and read the comments for yourself. Even right now, it would be awesome. Denver is saying to have you. And yes, C. Connie is saying yes, yes, yes. So this is something maybe off air we can arrange that we can have viewers. And if there are other Caymanians out there in the diaspora who want to do this, And we can just, this is the space for you. I told you that yesterday. I appreciate it. I appreciate it very, very much. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man. Because like I was just thinking, like, you know, when it comes to like, you know, a plethora of topics, it's always good to have like somebody who can articulate them well
Of
and, you
course.
know, be able to talk about things with neutrality, you know? And
Yes.
that's what we kind of need so that we can, you know, help one another up and educate one another. So
And
like
that's
that's
the
what I was
whole,
saying.
that is the mission of this space. And I want to cover everyone. Don Hyde says, absolutely. And Steven says, yes, young man, please come back. So, I mean, I can keep the contact. We can give you a perspective. If there's any other one out there, like I said, that want to join you, there's this, with what your expertise is, we can work it out. I am more than happy, and we keep continuing building this space. Current events is very topical. You are the younger generation. The future is for you. And I'm quite sure you still keep lock on what's happening here, even though you're over there. And some of the things
Yeah.
maybe striking a nerve. You brought a different perspective to this yesterday, which is why I feel a lot of people appreciated your contribution.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I gotta be honest with you. Like, you know, I've been in and out of Cayman quite frequently, so like, I don't really keep up with like the latest politics and news that goes on. But I try to keep myself as informed as possible because,
Mhm.
like, you know, right now in America, we they dealing with something. You know what I mean?
Yes, yeah.
So a
Yeah,
lot of
but
things are
I'd
going
be
on
more
right
than
now.
happy.
So
I'd be more than happy. We can discuss it over the weekend. I'll reach out to you. And definitely we can just get it going, take it from there.
yeah, man, no problem. Like I said, you know, I'm more than happy to like, you know, give my perspective in a respectful and professional manner
Mhm.
and, you know, help add value to your show. And,
Definitely.
you know, plus it'll, you know, help inform everybody else, you know, and if somebody else has something that they want to contribute as well, you know, please
Mhm.
by all means.
Of course. Of
And,
course.
you know, so many hands make light work in this. That's how I
There we
feel.
go. And the whole objective of this, my love, is the fact that we are educating one another. It is civic. We're elevating talk, and we're bringing a lot of the topics that we have actually been bringing up here has been very emotive. We follow what's happening in Parliament, because I have an example to give today, a Did You Know segment, and that'll be interesting, you know, in regards to bills and who can actually put bills before the House. I mean, you're talking about making a whole new law. And you don't have to be, if you didn't know before, you don't have to be a member of the government to actually do this. Yeah. And I just wanted to do that from a
Really?
civic. See, that's coming up. And
I
I'm
didn't even
giving
know
you, so you could be a member of the opposition and put a bill, and it gets on the agenda. And pretty much once that Speaker of the House accepts that, it's debated by both sides. But I can go more in detail with that. Did you know? And I'll give a real life example to show you how it works. So it's interesting, isn't it?
Yeah.
And things like that,
Yeah.
it gives you food for thought. So we're elevating it and educating all at the same time. And there may be something that aligns with what you're majored in, what you're doing in, that you could actually help with budgeting. Let's say, for example, like how you spoke about it yesterday, that a lot of adults are like, just probably didn't see or didn't know about. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, you know, in my career, I did like a year of auditing, so I used to audit a lot of government and non-for-profits. So
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know, like I have my little thing with the government as well, and fund accounting. That all that fun, boring stuff, you know.
Right.
But
Yeah.
I don't want to really bore anybody with numbers and all that stuff.
No, we
It's
just want to
Friday,
break it
like,
down. Yeah, break it down in layman's terms. Normally, Friday is an open mic segment, as
Yeah.
I said, but it's usually a lighter tone. But again, because it's open mic, it could be anything. But we are definitely getting positive feedback, welcoming the younger generation, the Gen Z generation views. We need to hear your views. And we're also getting feedback from Jim saying, hopefully it would be a call-in interview for audience to participate, which is usually the case. And I'm quite sure you wouldn't be against that, because you saw the questions were coming in yesterday. So we will definitely formulate this. And as I said, we're throwing this invitation out to other younger persons as well wants to impart their knowledge and their expertise, of course, yes. And see, we're getting more feedback here. Wake up the Cayman Islands. Hello from the UK. A young Caymanian here also. I would like to call also. What is the WhatsApp number? So yeah, let's see what it is.
Yeah.
So I'll touch base
definitely.
with you over the weekend, and then we can arrange. And maybe there's a thing where I'm totally up to you. I know you're anonymous now, but there are opportunities that we could have a roundtable discussion where the phone lines are not actually taken up, and I can send you a link, and we can have you be able to see yourself and participate in
My name is
roundtable.
Gino, by the way.
Gino?
Yes.
Oh, Gino, pleasure to meet you. See, people probably thought I knew you. Nope. I just said you were God sent. You were the message. Gino, it's a pleasure meeting you.
I mean, yeah, believe it or not, like, I mean, a lot of Caymanians do know me. I mean, you know, like, I'm like, if they, you know, when people see me, they're like, oh yeah, that's Gino. And, you know, well, yeah, they're like, yeah, no, that's Gino. He, you know, his family's Caymanian, and like a whole bunch of people in Cayman.
Right.
So like, you know, I mean, but yeah, like I said before, let's get some more other callers in.
Yeah.
And I was just setting out my proposition to you.
No
so
problem.
we could
Thank you so
maybe
much.
do like yeah, man, no problem.
Thank you.
Take
And
care.
you can always WhatsApp. So this is the number that's WhatsApp as well.
Okay, yeah, man, no problem.
Yeah. All right. Take care.
All right.
There we
Take
go.
care, bye.
Sure. Bye-bye. There we go. See, I got his name. We got him. He's Gino. So everybody, yeah, we can give him a kaboom.
Kaboom!
And we got requests as well from Wake Up the Cayman Islands that's saying that they're in UK. Young Caymanian here also would like to also call WhatsApp number. That WhatsApp number, if you want to actually make your debut today, by all means, 345-936-8255 is the WhatsApp number you can call me on. The thing is now, if you're calling straight, I cannot take a WhatsApp call because then the straight call will disconnect the WhatsApp call. I can't merge a straight line with a WhatsApp. It's unfortunately how the system is. So that's the only downside to it. But once this evolves, and of course, you heard, respect Gino, Damian Henry, everybody's happy, Gino. You know, once this evolves, we will have the system set up in a way that if they want to actually join me and we can have this split screen, just like how we have guests wanting to come on and we entertain them, that is a possibility. And then the lines are definitely free and open so that you all can continue to participate, be it Gino or Wake Up the Cayman Islands. So yeah, you're welcome. I am entertaining all of you. We want your feedback. We want to hear from you because every voice matters. And thank you so much for realizing what we're doing in the space. I saw the feedback yesterday and it was amazing. So congratulations to you, Gino, and welcome to the Sabrina Speaks family world. So yeah, there you see what my morning was like. And I hope that yours wasn't as nerve-wracking as mine. Connie, you wicked. Connie, you wicked. You wicked, I must say, but I love you still. If you're just joining us, welcome to Sabrina Speaks. It's good to have you here with us. And yes, it's Friday. It's Friday. And let's just get over the news roundup. And we begin here, as I said, you know, I was at the Chamber of Commerce, hosted its annual economic forum today at the Kimpton Seafire Resort. And with what's happening local, leaders and business executives gathered to discuss government policy, economic growth, and the rising role of artificial intelligence in shaping Cayman's future. Let's turn our attention over right now to tourism. Cayman Airways, yeah, listen to this. If you haven't heard it, now you're hearing it, but there's a full story on CMR TV. Let me get the image here. Where is it? I got the image. I know I got it right here. Cayman Airways has announced a new, right? Look at here. Nonstop route to Austin, Texas. Yes, Cayman Airways has announced a brand new seasonal nonstop route to Austin, Texas. Flights will begin May the 24th and run through mid-August, operating weekly on Sundays. Now, this expansion strengthens ties with Central Texas and opens up new opportunities for visitors and business alike. And there also, in regards to that one, there's also some good news in regards to the digital ID that was officially launched as well today. And it's this and more stories on cmrtv.com. And there's also some additional information in regards to the cruise numbers. And I'm just getting the images up here so it all makes sense with what was shared with us. And of course, there'll be full articles of this more to come, be it from the chamber themselves or from government as the days go by. But here's also some additional information that was shared with us that there were 56,402 more seats to the Cayman Islands between January and April 2026. That's in flight capacity, seats. And these total seats capacity was in Q1 of 2026. That was 358,512. And there was 2,175 flights will arrive from 28 gateways on 12 airlines. That's coming in here to the Cayman Islands. Inbound airlift, as reported by the Minister of Tourism and the Deputy Premier, was up by 18% year over year on to 419 additional flights. And when you even want to look at room stocks to show you how things are skyrocketing here, and this information was just released today, the room stock between 2016 and 2026, these were information and stats that were shared with us earlier today. Over the last decade, our room stock increased from 5,502 in 2016 to 6,974 rooms in 2019. And that was the recorded highest year of visitation, and rising to 8,909 rooms in 2026 with the opening of 1GT and Grand Hyatt hotels. Now, we know that more of these resorts are actually coming on. I know the Minister for Immigration spoke on this and encouraged employers and the public to engage with him and his ministry and giving Caymanians an opportunity. He also spoke in regards to making sure that processes are improved, and getting information out to the public is something that he is tasked his PR teams to improve. But we can delve in a little bit more on that. And should you wish to comment on it, 345-936-8255 is the number to call, either WhatsApp or dial in straight. Now, as I said, phase one of the new digital ID card system known as My eID was officially launched as well today, and Caymanians can now apply through the My Information info portal, giving citizens secured identity verification and more control over their personal data is shared. Now, I know Danny, I want to get Danny's opinion on this. He's been quiet. Right? I know you all been missing Danny. But just keeping it in the environmental front, Cayman scientists are also conducting groundbreaking deep sea research in one of the world's deepest ocean trenches, located just offshore. And in culture, The Conversation, the National Trust is also hosting a special fundraiser featuring jewelry inspired by Cayman's natural heritage, with proceeds supporting preservation efforts across the islands. When we look over at our friends there in Jamaica, has secured a major boost for their recovery efforts, with the International Monetary Fund distributing over $400 million to help rebuild after Hurricane Melissa. And we're not going to forget those in Haiti either, because guess what? Armed clashes continue to destabilize the capital, with dozens of lives lost since the start of the year. And in the Bahamas, yes, debates heat up over fixed election dates. We know what's happening in Barbados. They've announced theirs, while the government moves forward with plans to hire Cuban medical workers to strengthen its healthcare system. That's what's happening in the Bahamas. Yeah, so we look here now at the Defense Secretary, and turning it to the UK, John Healey has pushed back against comments from the United States President Donald Trump, reminding Parliament that more than 450 British troops lost their lives in Afghanistan. And at home, there in the UK, the Labour Party politics are in the spotlight, with speculations about Andy Burnham as a possible successor to Keir Starmer, if you're following that. And on the global stage, we see where Ukraine President Volodymyr Zelensky delivered a fiery speech at Davos, urging Europe to act independently of the United States leadership. So let's over there in the United States. Finally, the immigration protests are spreading with demonstrations in Minnesota, including an economic blackout where businesses close in solidarity. Now, ICE operations have expanded into Maine, intensifying the debate. And on what we're seeing there, national front, the US has officially withdrawn from the World Health Organization, raising concerns about global health cooperation. Looking at technology, TikTok has avoided a ban by restricting ownership to majority American. And in entertainment, if you're into the Oscars, yes, Oscar nominations are out. And Ryan Coogler's film Sinners has set a record, guess what, with a whopping 16 nominations. I don't know if you hang out on a Sunday and you watch these awards. I like the Grammys. I think that's in February. But yeah, it's pretty cool to just watch them, how they dress and all that sort of stuff. But there you go. So there you have it. What's happening across the Caribbean, the US as well. I keeping it real with you. I just bringing you all up to speed with what's happening, but it's not limited to just that because, like I said, you are the pulse of this space and you're always invited to join in on the conversation and be a part of it. Yes. Let's see. I don't want to miss out on your thing. I see you, Jim. We'll have rum and Pepsi while listening to the interview. What a mess. I thought so, Denver, yes. Okay, I'm just trying to catch up here. Real Michelle say, Buttery Bank needs to be audit. Wake up, Cayman. Yes, I told you if you wanted, you can call. That's fine. That's good. Jim says, that would be a great CMR Gen Z show. Wake up, Cayman. Good idea. We can have it named and all that sort of stuff. Hey, we're building this space and I'm quite sure she's not going to knock it down. Gina could host that one. Even better yet. There you go. I'll make sure I'll tell Sandra about it. The first bill I'll propose, okay, this is going with what I started talking about. The first bill I'd propose to Parliament is to change the national dish from turtle stew to oxtail. Really? Why? It would be good to get your feedback on that. Denver says, Gino, Cayman Gen Z generation with wisdom and knowledge, we need more like this young man tuning in and voicing their opinions. I totally agree with you, Denver. Yes. Wondering why our government is pushing this so hard down our throats when the mother country has had to scrap it, voted out in Parliament. Yeah, the digital ID. Again, you're welcome to your opinion. If you don't, what is your take on these, on the national ID, the digital ID? And like I said, they were on the show. They presented why they wanted it rolled out. They also did it today with some slide presentations as well. And I'm hoping that their comms team will actually be able to come on the platforms and explain and share what they shared with us at the Economic Forum with the public as well, letting you know the protection, how much information is going to be released. Your address is not there as it is on your driver's license. And there would be like a token or some security code that you can't go from one phase to the next. But this is phase one rollout right now. And at the end of the day, from what is sold, what is being said, they seem as though they have all the belts and braces and checks and balances on this for it to have a safe rollout. So you shouldn't actually be concerned about your information being out there. Ease of doing business, accessing of information, government especially, where you would have to provide multiple the same document like multiple times. It would all be once or accessible by different government agencies, and they've outlined what agencies would have access to some of your information, of course, with parameters. So I'm hoping that the experts will at some point make it on here, as they may actually make it on Sandra's as well. The platform here, the space is open for us to share in this. And whenever that time comes, now that it's officially launched, the website has been launched today. And persons, Caymanians who want to sign up to be a part of this digital ID, you're free to do so. It's now official to the public. But like I said, stay tuned. More of this. This is a developing story. More to come. And see if you want to join in, be the first part of those who go and sign up for this officially and get yours. Real Michelle, how often is Cayman at 100% capacity? Are many international forums, conferences held in Cayman? Is it a thing or mostly private booked? Are many of the rooms also residents? Right now, this time of the year, Real Michelle, you will have a mixture of regular snowbirds coming to actually visit our shores with their families. And then you will have a number of conferences as well. And I think that will go down straight up until April, early May. So it is quite common that we have a lot of overseas companies coming here to do their AGMs. So it's a mix of what we're seeing right now. We've also seen today, 2 huge cruise ships and a smaller carnival, I think, in the port. And we're seeing those, and the Minister of Tourism, Deputy Premier, also spoke in regards to that in celebrating these mega ships and what his engagement was with stakeholders in that industry during his time thus far. So these are huge cruise ships. This one is in port right now. It's called the XL. I think that one's by Celebrity. That one is in port right now, today. And this is her, she made her inaugural call here. Celebrity XL. Her inaugural call was in November of 2025. And he also declared that there was also a cruise ship in the BRAC. And I think we can recall that one. And there's one going to be making this one in March. MS Explorer visited Cayman BRAC on the 12th of March to see that they're inclusive of the sister islands as well. And that was not going to be anything fading anytime soon. And there's another image that I'll post here, shared by the Deputy Premier, of another tourist vessel that will be over into the BRAC, but that one is a smaller one. The Star Clipper inaugural call was January 15th of this year. So you can see where they're actually visiting the sister islands as well. But these mega ships, these bigger cruise ships, are actually in our port. This one is there today. I saw it. This and another one is in port right now. So whatever engagements that he has been doing during his time, and I have that as well. He did say what he was doing. Where is it? Yes, here it is. Deputy Premier, Mr. Ruddy, says, so far what he's been doing is building relations, and he has attended the FCCA Sea Trade Conference to discuss future of cruise in Cayman. He met with 10 cruise line executives. He's also held 12 meetings over 2 days and attended the Panact Cruise Summit, reviewed cruise product for competing destinations. Another thing that he mentioned in this presentation as well today is improving the flow of traffic in town, where pedestrian and regular commuters actually make that improvement as well. And he mentioned this one, what they're exploring. They're improving congestion, and they're exploring ways to improve pedestrian and vehicular flows in Georgetown. So you can see that they have a plethora of plans, things that they want to do here in Cayman as we continue to evolve. And remember now, their budget is now kicked in. So what they're doing now is what they would have funded and what they're going to deliver, and it should align with the SPS, the strategic policy statement of their promises to the people of the Cayman Islands. Yes. So it is, we just have to wait and see, hoping that it would create job opportunities. We're seeing where cruise tourism, with whatever engagement he's doing, and even without a cruise berthing facility, we see these mega ships out there. And yeah, so we'll hear more from them, I am sure. But that was pretty much in a synopsis, and I managed to capture some of the slides that he had today to share with you. So, Real Michelle, that's that. It's a mixture of things, to be honest. I was eating some tacos during my lunch, and I saw ice marching through the downtown area. It's wild. Oh, really? What that experience must be a bit scary. Even Americans are voicing their opinions where, it's often that they're confused. They get confused in regards to being citizens and being arrested themselves. So where do we go from there? Jimbo says those are Somalian businesses in Michigan. Oh, you're answering this. Okay. Shaka Zulu, hi, happy Friday. How are you? How are you preparing for the long weekend? Denver is explaining why you should change turtle from oxtail, because shouldn't. Oxtail is not a Caymanian original traditional dish. So there you go. That's why you wouldn't change it, because it's changing our history. Denver says it. The Real Michelle says, and Gino's slot could follow yours, which would be helpful for opening a handover from Sabrina to Gino. I'd subscribe to that too. Oh, okay. There you go. See, Gino, they even telling you where to place you. Yes. Thank you very much. Thank you. Lucky body. I've signed up for my digital ID. Congratulations to you. Yes. Congratulations to you, lucky body. Yeah. The card looked good. I think they're even trying to do, there's a hologram on it as well. And what was shared, the video, it's quite easy to get started. So let's see what the sign up is like, but it is official now. And like I said, more information to come, but congratulations to you, lucky body. Brenda says, turtle is our national dish. If it's to be changed, it will be changed by us, the Caymanians, to suggest that this is rude, disrespectful, and insulting. Yep, that's a part of our history. So it was a suggestion. So let's see. But to change, I doubt if it would change. Highly, highly, highly. That would be a national outrage. I know that for a fact. Jimbo say, I might get shot down for this comment. Good night. But I can read it. But I have a right to my own opinion. Turtle recipes, definitely Cayman's got it at 100%. But when it comes to oxtail, hands down, Jamaica has it at every bite. We respect each other's opinions. So the thing about being shot down, she gives her reason as to why it shouldn't be changed. If she feels it's insulting, I can understand that. But you're entitled to your opinions, and that's the good thing about this space. Yeah. I hope they're applying for temporary work permits to hold their AGMs and not breaking the laws that many companies did in the past. Why would they need the celebrations, though, Miss Jen? Okay, if I said annual general GMs, it's conferences that is private, only for them, and I'm reminiscing of my days back there, and I know that they still come on. So it is not like it's competing locally. It is actually, some of these bring 500 room stocks or through the roof. The tourism industry booms from it. So it wouldn't be necessarily competing. Sometimes they even bring in artists, and those would require work permits. But outside, for them to have there, because it's a private offshore, they would not require a work permit because they wouldn't be competing locally. They're just having their meeting in another jurisdiction. That is a win-win for us. The artists now, should they bring in an artist, Miss Brenda, they would then be subjected to work permits. But that is handled in the most respectful way, because they wouldn't necessarily be competing and that's their choice. Sometimes that's just on memory, and oh gosh, you know how much years that has been, quite a while. Real Michelle, now I'm a cruise dreaming. A doggy puppy friendly cruise would be nice. I love me a cruise. I know some people don't like it. Yeah. Jim Norris, oxtails are traditional Jamaica dish. Show it should be. Yeah. Denver, the digital ID will only be used to collect data on people. Don't think that's what you mean. It will be of any good purpose to Caymanians. If they want to go through with this use of the foreigners in our country so they can be tracked with their agenda against Cayman and Caymanians, as far too many here, not with good intentions, just my humble opinion. And thank you for sharing that. When the government agencies actually come back more that this is rolled out, and we see where Lucky Body has actually they have filed for these, let's hear exactly what it is, Denver. It is not mandatory. It is definitely by choice. Some government agencies are also allowed to go ahead and start the early, and even board members that are aligned with those departments and statutory authorities as well. But the good thing is it's been rolled out for Caymanians only at this stage, at this time. And let's see what the feedback is like. And it would be nice, Lucky Body, if you're willing to share your experience and how it works with us, maybe one day, even if you just continue to comment here, or feel free to call in to let us know what you feel about it. Good evening, caller. You're live on Sabrina Speaks. What's on your mind?
Good evening, Sabrina.
Good evening, Miss Brenda. I think this is your first time calling the show. How are you?
I was about to call in the show, although I'm not used to having my name called out to call a show. But anyway, I guess that's there, Mary. I only called to make 2 clarifications, or perhaps to correct 2 comments. And one is regarding our national dish. I said what I said, and I stand by that. Oxtail is a Jamaican dish, and we would not go to Jamaica and tell them to change their national dish from Akin codfish to anything else. So I suggest that anyone that now resides on our shores needs to respect the fact that turtle is our national dish, and it was that before even as the Caymanians arrived. So let's leave that one there. But if it will be changed, and should be changed and considered to be changed, it will be done by us Caymanians. And anyone to suggest that, it is even beyond rude, because that says to me, you don't even know our history and you have never made it a point to learn it. So putting that one aside, you did say AGMs, and that's why I said temporary work permit, because I'm sure that you know, if companies are going to hold AGMs here, you do need a temporary work permit because you're working. Even if it's not an AGM, but you have come down just for one day to work in the office here, you require a temporary work permit. But you said if you said AGM, you meant a conference.
It's conference.
Yes.
And
Therefore,
yeah.
Yes. And if it is a conference, so I suppose they wouldn't need a work permit.
No.
If it's an AGM, they certainly do.
Yeah.
Or if it's to work in any capacity at all, they would require a work permit. That's why I made that comment. Okay.
Thank you for your clarification.
Oh, and let me just say, I wasn't disagreeing with Jim. Jim made his point. He said, Cayman has it hands down with turtle and Jamaica with oxtail. And he's absolutely right. You know, there are some dishes that are Jamaican dishes, and let's leave that with them. But do not insult us, our history and our culture, about changing our national dish. Don't go there. Okay?
But do you recall this being another conversation? Was it, I think, not last year before, that somebody had made some article that why are we killing the turtles, and it caused an uproar. So to say that it isn't making its way, this is the first time it's just stated on this space. But it looks as though that talk is coming up more and more. So here we go again, national. It shows our unity in our people standing together to maintain and preserve our culture, our heritage. And that's what it's going to take, because you know what will happen if they remain silent and only 1 or 2 people speak. Who you think going to have the upper hand eventually?
Yeah, well, you know what? again, I'm going to say the only people that would suggest something like this are people who are not Caymanians. And now I don't really care who this offends. Having a piece of paper does not make you any nationality. Home is where the heart is. Home is where you pledge your allegiance. I would never go to anybody's country and suggest to them even what they should eat, much less what should be their national dish. I would first inquire what their national dish is in case I wanted to experience it. And if I didn't like it, that's fine. They would never know, but I would never suggest that they should change it. So anyone that's had the opportunity to reside on my shores, I say to you, please respect us, respect our history, respect our seafarers, respect our culture. And if you don't know it, please learn it. Otherwise, you don't have a say in this conversation. Now, this is my first time listening to your show. Surprisingly, for some reason, it popped up and I happened to tune in. But as I said, there's always a reason for everything. And I have to tell you, that rubbed me the wrong way.
Well, babe, Jim is even saying, give Miss Brenda a kaboom. So he's also agreeing with you.
Yes. But agreeing with
Yeah,
me,
no, he
you
got
know?
it. He got it. He didn't take it offensively.
Yeah.
No, there was no
But me-
offense.
That's right. But no, I just wanted to make sure he understood
Mhm.
or that the rest understood. I wasn't agreeing with him. He is absolutely correct. You know, it is so funny. I was just having a conversation with someone just a few minutes before this, talking about ackee and codfish. And I said, I love ackee and codfish in Jamaica because no one does it like them. I don't eat it here in Cayman, cooked by Caymanians or anyone else.
I tell you the truth, it
And-
does taste different over there. And I don't know if it's because their
and you know
thyme and
what?
their scallion
And
is
you
so
know what?
fresh.
And it should. It is their national dish.
Mm-hmm.
So, like I say, turtle is ours. And if you don't know the history on it, please go and learn it. And do not make the mistake to insult us, the Caymanians, again by suggesting that we should change it or do anything different that we do with turtles that we do here. Look at our flag carrier. What does it bear?
Mm-hmm.
Look at our coat of arms. What does it bear? Ask them what those things mean. They don't even know. So don't go there.
Mm-hmm. Do you realize that the Ministry of Culture actually had to solidify what our forefathers wore exactly this our national dish, even the drink, because there was nothing in legislation that actually preserved this when you looked at culture, you know. Can you imagine? And now I think I stand to be corrected. The Ministry of Culture actually have a description of how it's prepared, the same turtle, and even swanky, what it's true, because you can't even find a civil orange now. Those trees are hard to find. But to
And
see
not
that,
only that, but the origin.
yes,
and the reason
yes,
for it.
yes, yes.
These are things newcomers to our shores would never know.
Mhm.
And they have never bothered to ask. They've probably heard these words passed around. I'm sure they've never asked, what does it mean?
Mhm.
Okay?
Mhm.
But instead, because they don't know, they don't understand, and most of all, they don't care. Their first thing is, we should change it. Change it to what? To what? To what? It is what it is, and that is what it will remain.
Mhm.
And just to follow up on what you just said, many years ago, all of these laws that were put in place, they were, I guess, because of, I'm going to say, the lack of formality.
Mhm.
I
Mhm.
assumed that it would just roll over from one generation to
To
the
the
next.
next. Mhm.
But as the world changed, they realized it's just like with music. A lot of musicians went broke because they didn't understand the industry. They
Mhm.
worked, they didn't copyright their work. Okay?
Right.
But today they all understand that because they even if they didn't go to the school of music, they know people who can assist them or have a lawyer handle it for them. And it is the same way now with cultures.
Mhm.
We're not the only country that is, I'm going to say, quote unquote, having to now copyright certain things in our culture and our heritage and our history. If we do not protect it, if we do not preserve it, who do you think is going to do
It'll
it?
be
Do
rewritten
you
by
see any
somebody else.
Caymanians? Do you see any Caymanians being born here of Caymanians? No, they're all imported Caymanians. So,
But
I'm
Miss
sorry.
Brenda, I'm sorry. I already call you name. When you talk about that now, how many of us really are around here that is just can say 100% indigenous? Because I know you
okay.
don't know me personally, but I can share it for context. My mother,
I know who your parents are.
yeah,
And let me, what I said in the beginning,
mm-hmm,
home is where the heart is,
right,
and home is where you
gotcha.
raise your right hand and you pledge your allegiance to.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I do not hold one passport and go to the airport and talk about I'm going home. Okay?
Ah, okay. Mm-hmm.
Okay? I do not raise another flag and wave it and say, I'm waving my country's flag. You know what I say to that?
Well,
But then give up the passport of my country. You can't have it both ways.
what would you say to those persons that say now that our Cayman passport is only a travel document because we're not an independent country and that's what's causing the divide? You heard,
No, that is not what's causing the divide. And that's basically an issue. It is a travel document, but more so, it is a means of ID because we had nothing else before. And
mm-hmm,
we're old enough to hold a driver's license. And people may not realize just how important a passport is.
mm-hmm.
You know what a passport also shows? Who you belong to. We are not an independent country, and therefore, it doesn't matter where we travel, we are British citizens.
Mm-hmm.
So, what the first thing we need to know is where is the British embassy and consulate, no matter where in the world you're going.
There's one. Yeah.
That's right. You need to know that there's one and where it is.
Mm-hmm.
Because if anything were to happen, whether you're traveling on your Cayman Islands BOTC passport or the UK passport,
Mm-hmm.
you are a British citizen.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So if you die, if you have written in the back of your passport your emergency contact,
Yeah.
it would be a government notification. And if you haven't, it is going through the UK. And then the UK is going to notify the Cayman Islands. So it has nothing to do with the fact that we are not independent.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll tell you where this all comes from and leads up to. One single word, ignorance.
Mm-hmm.
Ignorance. And if they don't know the definition of ignorance, it means lacking knowledge. And I'm sorry that my first time on your show, but I have to
No, somebody said
so-
they rile up Miss Brenda today.
exactly. And I didn't need that.
Over turtle.
I didn't need it this evening because I have the flu.
Oh
I was
God.
resting.
But you sound good.
Well, I was resting,
Mm-hmm.
and like I said, the thing just happened to pop up,
Mm-hmm.
and I looked at it, and when I saw the first two comments that were written, and I said, "What is this?" You know, don't go there with me. I am a Caymanian. I do not care. First of all, you don't have to be born in Cayman to be a Caymanian.
Right.
But if your heart is here,
Is here.
your home.
Mm-hmm.
If you pledge allegiance here, this is your home. You cannot have it both ways. Okay?
What would you say then about you know, for some of us, it's where the heart is. But for a long time, what social studies used to be in my days ago in Adventist school, West Bay Primary School, middle school, and high school is not what it is right now. Like we've lost it.
In history.
Yeah. But we don't share this. And it's like once you get to middle school, it stops. And I feel it's because as time evolved and these things weren't continued, unless it's Round Pirates Week time that you dress up for Heritage Day, you saw that as a day of going to school just without your uniform. I really feel that we really need to push that more, and it should continue throughout the education part of it. And we should see that sprinkle in all parts of wherever we go in Cayman. In a national dish, especially in some of our restaurants, where can you really go and really get through authentic Caymanian food?
Exactly. Unless you barge into my kitchen.
Correct. But you see, that should be, in my humble opinion, in the hospitality, something that we should look at, that you teach them along the West Bay corridor, which you know is a lot, but now East End as well, that something traditional must be, one or two dishes must be on their menu.
Well, let me just say, because I have been saying this for a very long time. Once upon a time, there were things that happened at school. And this is where we learned about this at a very tender age.
Mhm.
And then at some stage, it was thrown out of the schools. Why? I don't know.
Uh-huh.
But now we are seeing the repercussions of that. First of all, our constitution should be a part of our curriculum in the school. I remember when Caymanian arts, crafts were being taught in the schools.
Mm-hmm.
And even, even needlework.
Mm-hmm. Sewing, yeah, because we had cooking.
Even basic hygiene.
Mm-hmm.
You know what else was also taught in the schools? Whoever one of our representatives were. And it wasn't just the one that I mean, we didn't have ministers back then, but whatever their titles were,
Mm-hmm.
it wasn't just the one for education that came to the schools. They all came. And I also remember when, I'm not sure what title they give to this person now, but back then it used to be what they call the chief education officer or whatever. That person also visited the schools, introduced
Would be the
themselves
chief officer. Would be the chief officer now, or the permanent secretary.
No,
back then.
It's different than a chief officer. It was actually Denver might be able to help me out here because I see him on here.
Mm-hmm.
He might remember. But I remember Miss Isla Connolly held that title. And she went from school to school to school. Everybody knew that name and knew who that person was and what her job was. That, again, was thrown completely out the door.
Mm-hmm.
And this is what happens. This is how your culture, your history,
Mm-hmm.
and your heritage gets trampled on. As I said, if we don't protect it, we don't preserve it, who is going to?
Mm-hmm. You're quite right.
And to talk about menus, this is another argument I keep having. I don't care which 5-star hotel comes here. There should be a Caymanian menu on it.
Mm-hmm.
Tourists don't come here to eat American food or Canadian food. They come here to sample what is Caymanian. When you go to Jamaica or any other country in the world, all you're finding on their menu is their dishes.
Mm-hmm.
So you better hope you got a stomach. Take one of them down or eat a salad.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because I can't go there and tell them, oh, I want turtle meat. Why don't you have turtle meat on your menu?
Mm-hmm.
I want it oxtail. Huh? People would call the straight jacket people for me if I say something like that to them. And I'm simply saying, somebody has got started.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody's got to have testicular fortitude or whatever it is for a woman.
Breasticular fortitude.
Thank you. Say, this stops now. This is where we go from here. I have stayed in many hotels throughout the Caribbean, and I'll tell you what I did not see on any of them. And that was the menu full of Americanized dishes or European dishes.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe in a very, very small section, and you had to look good to find it. You might have seen a steak and a hamburger.
Well, who is it really then to blame for why we have pretty much almost appeared watered down who we are, but yet we're saying there's no culture here? And we know that there's culture here.
Let me just say, I would say it is a two-part blame.
Mm-hmm.
This is not necessarily in the order. It's the people and the people they elect.
Okay.
You can prioritize it as you please.
Mm-hmm.
But we elect people who should be working for us. But they're only working when they're looking to vote. Once they've got, and I'm not saying that's what's happening at this moment. I'm saying what's happened over the years.
Mm-hmm.
And after they've gotten the vote, they don't know you anymore because they work for their handlers.
Mm-hmm.
Their handlers tell them what they want Cayman be, not what it should be, what they want it to be.
Mm-hmm.
And if they could change our flag and change everything about here, that's what we would have. I didn't catch the whole story, but I saw the other day where Sandra was speaking about something to do with somebody flying an American flag somewhere in Cayman. As I said, I didn't catch the story from the beginning. I suspect that it is some establishment here flying the American flag. Well, maybe that person does not know. That is illegal. Okay? You can fly the
But who
Cayman
are the
flag.
enforcers again? If somebody didn't capture whatever was actually in breach,
Well, again,
here we go
someone-
again, the
well,
enforcers.
well, again, someone saw it
Mm-hmm.
and someone spoke about it. Okay? Look at our government buildings. Whose flags do you see out there? You don't see American flags out there. We don't belong to the US. We don't belong to the EU. We belong to the UK.
Mm-hmm.
And as long as we belong to them, we will fly two flags. Anything less than that or more than that, you are committing a crime. And maybe they should read the conditions of their Cayman status grants or their PR grants, okay? Because they're very much into it. So I would ask them, please go pay attention. Because things like that, it really rubs me the wrong way.
Mm-hmm.
I would never go to any other country and fly my Cayman flag, not even outside my door, because I wouldn't expect the people of that country to appreciate that. You know what it would say to me? Oh, you just here for what you can get, but you're not really one of us. You're not willing to integrate with us. That's the message it sends. Or you've come here and you plan to topple over us. Yeah? Either way you take it, it's not a positive image.
But do you see the culture of other jurisdictions where they actually have embraced their culture more? They defend their culture more? Is it because we are so small, because the statistic has it, that we're approximately in the 20% of generational Caymanians that are left? Where have we gone? Why have we like almost pushed to the back of the class almost with certain things? You have people all over the region. I've been watching, of course, in this space now even more. You look at Barbados, you look at Jamaica, and you rightfully say you go there, you watch their menus, you see their culture, even at the all-inclusives, you see exactly how they embrace their culture. We never had that. I'm going back now from me being born in 74. And you kind of look, well, why can't we embrace our culture? Why don't we see our culture sprinkled all over? Like everywhere you go, you see our flag. You're speaking Caymanian dishes, the food, you're just get that pride of catboat making rope and all that. It's like we're not talking it, but yet we're seeing it, and we're going to other regional jurisdictions and we're appreciating theirs. And then we come back and we're like, where's mine?
Well, you asked me a question, and if I were to really answer you, I would take up your entire show. So, in all fairness, let me just say, let me say this: it has nothing to do with our size or our population.
Okay.
And I'll throw two other territories at you, and you can think about them: Turks and Caicos Islands and the BVI. Okay.
Yeah.
And it's not happening there.
Oh, BOTC, because there are other British overseas territories too. Yes.
Exactly. It's not happening there. It is for another reason that is happening here. And you know what happens? You know what they say? When you snooze, you lose.
Jim says people are selling out. But we do have to sell out our culture, which is why Miss Brenda is so passionate over the comments.
Like I said, people have already sold out all of the land because of bad advice. Won't reverse that. That's like 50 years of bad eating. You can pay the consequences, okay? But you do not have to sell out your principles and the core of who we are. That should never have a price on it. That's what we can hold on to.
Shaka Zulu said, to answer your question, Auntie Sabrina, I have to go back to what Charles Whitaker always says. The Caymanians of today are weak and meek. And Denver says, we're not patriotic to our country.
I won't say we're not, but unfortunately, we have become the minority in our own country. And you know what they say, there's strength in numbers. But just remember too, small acts, all victory.
It's almost like we have to to be taught togetherness and standing for unity in one, because it's appearing now for those of us who want to defend who we are as Caymanian, as you're alluding to and so passionately speaking about here in our culture, that we're few in numbers that are willing to even speak so boldly about it. And this is why I feel that others are becoming vocal on social platforms and making such utterances and suggestions, because
Uh,
those who have the power and have, like you rightfully boldly stand up and say, look, I defend in this because this is my heart. We don't have enough. I've heard you, I've heard Siobhan, I've heard Danny, Denver, and them. They comment here in Shaka Zulu. You can know who are our people, right? But it's like not enough. And I know there's a lot of us out there. It's as though we're scared. The culture is becoming more and more that as long as it's not on my front step, I good. Let Brenda deal with it. Let Dana Warren deal with it. Let Sandra deal with it. Sabrina will bring it up and we'll hear what they say. But that's not enough, in my humble opinion. And I
No,
don't
it's
normally
not.
share that.
It's not. But again, I say there's an African proverb: a speaker of truth has no friends.
Hmm.
And I'll tell you what,
Lone the
I
corner.
am proud the lone wolf, as long as I know I didn't sell out.
Mm-hmm.
I have to live with myself, and I would rather die with my dignity than to die with all the money in the world and lacking dignity.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So when you know what it boils down to? Treason. That's treason. If you cannot stand up and fight for the rights of your country
Mm-hmm.
and defend the laws of your country, that is treason.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know what the punishment is now, but I know once upon a time it was punishable by death.
Death. Mm-hmm.
And that even came from the days of the Bible. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So, like I said, live here, enjoy it, please respect us. If you don't even want to integrate with us, that's fine. But remember where you are.
Mm-hmm.
And while you may have been granted papers that don't define who you are, when you speak, it defines who you are and how you feel about us.
Your actions as well.
We don't
Assimilating.
have an
Mm-hmm.
option.
Mm-hmm.
This is home for us. For all those that got a piece of paper, they have an option. They can go home like they did after Hurricane Ivan, when they all gathered at our airport and said they were going home. What did we have to do? We had to stay here and suck it up.
Miss Brenda, not getting after you, just asking a question because I'm hearing it more and more. What would you say to someone who actually hear your passion in defending who we are and read it as they don't want us here? What would you say? They're like, I've never seen Cayman like this. They're divide. Look at all I have given. I'll never be accepted just because I have a piece of paper. Look at, and listen, for someone not knowing you, for someone not understanding how emotive this is, just talking about our national dish, what would you say to someone that says, see there, another prejudice one, ungrateful. Look how much years I gave, for example only, to the teaching industry or maybe to the medical field. And, I have embraced Cayman. I got plenty of Caymanian friends, but they will never see me any different than a piece of paper. And I love Cayman.
Okay. And let me say to that, I have many friends who are not Caymanians. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But you know why they can be my friends? Because they respect where they are and they respect us. So when I say what I just did, I'm not speaking to those people, and they too are in the minority.
Mm-hmm.
I'm speaking to those who are here, living their best lives, and they know nothing about us. They don't care to know anything about us. I'm going to share something with you. After Hurricane Ivan, I was in Jamaica. And I don't know if you've heard of this woman. She does a talk show. Her name is Mrs. Glodden. And she was speaking about the hurricane. And she said that she had a good friend here in Cayman. She'd been here once. She'd stayed with that friend. And of course, at that time, communications and stuff was still down.
Mhm.
And she was just wondering if this lady had made it out okay. Well, I happen to know who the woman was.
Mhm.
It was Miss Joyce Hilton.
Mhm.
I called her show and I said to her that I'm sure, like everyone else, she'd suffered damage, but thankfully, we didn't have any loss of lives except one that I knew of. And she thanked me very much and spoke about, her beautiful garden and so on. And another day, I was listening to the show and I heard a Jamaican calling, and he said to her that we got what we deserve and we got it because of how we treat Jamaicans, we as in Caymanians.
Oh wow.
And yes, and she said to him, said, listen to my master, you're not going here with that today. So let me tell you something. Those people have a little piece of paradise, and all they're trying to do is to secure it. And she asked him where he was. Said he was in Cayman. He was working in Cayman.
And made that statement.
Yes. And she went on to say to him, said, Jamaicans are treated that way everywhere in the world. And do you want to know why? Say, we did it for ourselves. So don't blame it on anybody. I called her show again that day, and I said to her that I couldn't help but hear what that person said. And I said, he's like many. They're in Cayman for the almighty Caymanian dollar, not because they like us, not because they respect us. And I said, if he has a problem with that, he has an option that no other Caymanian has. He can come home. I said, I have Caymanian family who are also out of door, out of jobs and everything,
Mhm.
but they got to stay home. But they don't have a home to run to. They're at home.
Oh
But
wow.
at least she was fair. And
Yes.
she put me in his place.
Mhm.
Okay?
And she was a Jamaican herself, a host of
Mrs.
her own
Claude
show.
is a,
Yeah.
Mrs.
Mhm.
Claude is a Jamaican,
Yeah.
like I said. That's her. I don't know if she still does it, but she'd done it, that talk show for many, many years.
Mhm.
And it used to come on, like, around lunchtime in the afternoon. A lot of people tuned into her.
Right.
So, I mean, if I hadn't heard that in my own 2 ears,
Mhm.
no one could have told me that anyone could have been that brazen.
To defend and brazen, and to also on the other time to defend us.
No, I meant about the caller.
Yes.
I meant about the caller.
Mhm.
But she was straight with him.
Mhm.
And she made him know. She even said, listen to me, say, come off my show. Come off my show. Yeah?
Mhm.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. Whether you're here, and just to make myself clear, I am not racist. I'm not prejudiced. And not because you are a paper holder do I hold anything against you. It wasn't your fault that you got it. If you got it and you shouldn't have gotten it, it was somebody else's fault.
Mhm.
And that's a story for a different day.
Aye.
All I'm saying is, if you happen to be one of those people, please appreciate the privilege that has now been bestowed upon you.
Mhm.
And even if you don't like us, you don't like our food and whatever, keep it to yourself. Say it when you're with your own kind of people. Do not insult us. Do not disrespect us.
There you
I
go.
have traveled. I have traveled much more than I'm sure many people in Cayman have. And when I travel, it's a visit.
Mhm.
And after 2 weeks, I'm ready to come home. I
Mhm.
know where home is. But I have never gone to anybody's country and disrespected them or their culture. And I'll
But
tell you what is not lacking anywhere else to go. It only happens in Cayman. And that is the confusion about what is the culture, what is the history, and everything else, because everybody else is flying their flag and
Mhm.
dominating ours.
But do you think our very own culture and who we are as Caymanians, so I guess nice Caymankind, as they have it dubbed, is what has caused us to almost in some places feel as though we've been taken advantage for our niceness, taken
I don't,
advantage of?
well, I don't think Caymankind has anything to do with it. I think that it was deliberate or not deliberate, that so many laws got changed and most of them were done in the dark. People didn't realize what had been done until it was too late. And when it affected them and they then spoke about it, that's when they got the rude awakening. Oh, we can't do anything about it. This is what the law says. So they snoozed too and didn't realize what was happening. So I encourage people to read, listen to the proceedings in the House. That way you know who brought what, who supported it, and who did not. So that when they come back out looking for your vote, you are better educated about that individual. You can be fooled once, but you shouldn't be fooled twice.
But at the
So
end of the day, a lot of people not paying those proceedings any mind. And when
and
you
that is- and
actually,
that- and
yeah,
that is my point. And that is why
they're not paying them no mind.
people are voting the same way over and over and expecting a different result. You have some people who only tune in to one media. They're not listening to anything
Yep.
else. They don't go to every meeting and listen to what this one has said, that one has said, and compare notes. No, this one has smiled. They're nice. So I'm going to vote for them. Well, guess what? Nice is not a qualification, and neither is a smile. Because I don't care if my representative likes me, speaks to me, or ever smiles with me. But if my representative is doing a good job, first is my country, and then in the community, they're always going to have my support. So people should be open-minded and be willing to hear somebody else's point of view. Someone can change my mind too, because maybe what I was listening to was wrong. But you could wake me up and say, no, got that wrong.
Look at this from this perspective. Yeah.
Exactly. And until the 100% voting public understand that and vote accordingly, we're always going to run into problems. And that has gone on for too long. So I pray that now we have a new government, although not entirely new people, but predominantly. So let us hope that the march they're on, they will continue. And even if you didn't support them, that you understand what they're doing and now you can support them. Because at the end of the day, that will have a trickle-down effect. And my children, your children, and grandchildren will reap those benefits.
Ms. Brand, this is a statement made by one of our commenters. It's funny hearing the older generation talking about treason for selling out the country, and yet the older generation sold the land to foreigners for profit. They sold out South Sound. What would be your take on that?
And to that commenter, I said nothing about people selling their property.
No, it was just a statement being made. I'm just asking you because other young people may actually think the same way.
Again, that wasn't my comment. So selling your property wasn't committing treason.
Okay.
Unfortunately, that happened because of lack of knowledge. People didn't understand the value of what they had. So when I came along and said, oh, you can't plant anything there. Nothing there is going to grow. It's too much soil. Let me give you $10,000 for it. I did not understand that piece of land that I couldn't plant cassava and whatever on, that the value of that would multiply, that it would be so much taller than me and everybody in my generation. Okay? But again, I say lack of knowledge. And I'm not blaming those people. I'll tell you who I blame. I blame the people that encourage them to do it.
Because they didn't know no different. But I mean, if you could have a crystal ball and see into the future, I'm quite sure now. Remember when Galleon Beach and they were tearing that down? I can remember when Avalon was being built in, because I went through there, Cocoa Plum Bush, If we had a crystal ball, do you feel that we would have those private landowners would have even built on the seaside and more they should have been building then on the North Sound side? Because one of the things the Deputy Premier said today at the Economic Forum is that they're doing whatever it is to try and save 7 Mile Beach.
Yeah, but it's too late.
Exactly. I'm glad you said it. Because you're like, what the heck?
You know the only way you can save it? Knock down what is there. They should never have allowed them to build on the seaside. If you notice, with the exception of the Bahamas, they too made the same mistake, but they discovered it and they stopped it. All of the other islands built across seaside, they have preserved
Mm-hmm.
their white sand beaches,
Mm-hmm.
and to cross over to go to them. And guess what? It don't stop the tourists from going there. Well, I would say Jamaica did it too, but let's bear in mind we can't compare ourselves to Jamaica because we don't have the landmass that they have. So if they made a mistake in one area, they can abandon that and they
Mm-hmm.
can correct it in the other areas. And that is what separates us as competitors from the others. They have landmass that we do not have. So unless they're planning to go out there and dredge the ocean to create more landmass, if that is going to give you beaches, then they need to pull these reins in, and they needed to be pulled in a long time ago. You
Mm-hmm.
know,
Mm-hmm.
it's just like what has happened to our original. I say original as in because I'm sure it's not original, but I mean when we came of age, that West Bay Road,
Yeah.
where you could take a drive, and all you had to do was glance to the left, and you saw the beautiful, pristine beaches. And look at what has become of that.
Can't see a
Eh?
thing. You can barely see the right away now.
You know what hurts me? When I travel and people say to me, "Where are you from?" And I say, "Oh, I used to come to your island all the time. I don't come back anymore." Want to hear why they don't come back? Two
Why?
reasons. One,
Concrete jungle?
it is overpopulated and they've lost the beaches.
You've lost the beaches. Oh, okay.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
because they came for the serenity and the beaches. And we don't have either one of them anymore. So now they go to other places.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
that really saddens me because that is what we compete with these other islands for,
Right.
apart from the financial services. But people, if they're going on a vacation and so on, they're not really going to do business. They're going to relax.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what they want. It's like you or I coming from a very tiny, well, I don't know about you, but I know about me. If I'm going on vacation, I want to go somewhere in the world where there's history,
Mm-hmm.
where everything is still the same
Mhm.
as it was back in Jesus' days.
Preserved.
That's what I want. So when they leave that and they want to see white sand beaches with beautiful clear blue water and so on, and we no longer have that, what are they coming back here for?
Mm-hmm.
That's what we have to take back because we can take it back and then preserve it. So people need to understand everything serves its purpose. That's why everything that was put where it was put there for a purpose. It's like the mangroves. Florida didn't understand the importance of them either until they did.
Hmm.
And now they're what you call it? They're labeled like in what you call it, stuff when they go in extinct species.
Yeah.
So no, I'm serious.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
serious. You know, it's just like you know, with the black oak in Florida. You know, every Floridian. I'm
Mm-hmm.
not talking about the immigrants. I'm talking about Floridians, and even those that have gone there to live, they had to learn that what the black oak means to Florida. Okay, it's just like what people should know what a mahogany tree and what a birch tree and a weeping willow tree means to us. But
Mm-hmm.
ask them, they don't have a clue.
Mm-hmm.
They're not here for that reason.
Mm-hmm.
And the day that this country turned Bella up, they're going to all know that airport again. Because guess what? They're going home. And you know what? We're already home.
Yep.
So on that note, I will continue to listen and I will hush. And I'm sorry.
No.
That might be the first time on your show.
Do not
that-
apologize. You came in like a wrecking ball, but a good wrecking ball. People appreciate it, and the comments have been good. Denver has one thing here, but he had so much I couldn't. It cut it off. So let me see if I can read it now. One of the things that happened. Let me put it up. One of the things that has happened to us is the foreigners that were coming here 35 plus years ago appreciate us Caymanians to integrate with us, help many Caymanians get educated overseas, loved us, and fully respect us. And we allowed the Johnny coming after came here to benefit themselves, and our government saw, but didn't stand up because the money was flowing in. Our government was so afraid to say no to these newcomers because the money and their older investors saw change. Now, I don't know if he had any more to say, but it would have cut
Mhm.
off. And
Okay. Well, you know what they say, right? Reading the strokes, puppy.
yeah, I
Okay.
and we got a number of comments that are coming in. Actually, they're going along what you're saying and giving you even more context and confirming what you're saying. Working Tartarian says, working long term can't change your nationality. Many work here and don't assimilate, but they want to be called Caymanian. I don't understand that.
Mm-hmm.
Shaq,
They're Caymanians when it serves them the purpose to compete with Caymanians.
Shaka Zulu say that Caymankind thing is basically psychological warfare used to suppress Caymanians' ability to stand up to the foreign manipulators. That's what comment came
But
across.
let me just say, I do not agree that that is what Caymankind means. We were always known to be a very people of warmth, people of acceptance. And that's where the kind comes in.
Mm-hmm.
We are Caymanian. So they put it together. I don't think that it should be in any way associated with, being weak, stupid, or anything like that. However, yes, I will agree. It was taken advantage of
Mm-hmm.
because those, again, a predator, saw the weakness in it.
Mm-hmm.
And they took advantage of it. And as I said, greediness talks puppet. And just remember, not everybody you elect
Mm-hmm.
is going to work for you. I know that don't apply to all,
Mm-hmm.
but just remember, not all of them go there for the right reason.
And that is why I love the fact that I am trying to elevate talk here, to bring neutrality, to bring different perspectives, to educate, because some of the things that you shared here today is critical. And you have actually confirmed that don't mistake your tone. Don't mistake what you have to say when it comes to defending our national dish, our culture, our Cayman Islands, as being against anybody who is Caymanian, be it paper or a visitor. And this is why we have these spaces here where we have to, and I have opened the doors. Anyone who has been here with me since 30th of June will tell you I am elevating talk. This space is civic education, but respectfully respecting each other's opinions. You're entitled to your opinion. We have one thing to do if you have Cayman at heart, is to defend home. And if you want to mistake that as being prejudiced or ignorant, then you're entitled to your opinion. But the bottom line is, this is a space and we welcome all opinions. And this is why people are saying, yes, ma'am, she said what she needed to be said. She should call in more often. It's a pleasure to listen to her speak the truth to the masses.
Okay. Well, to those, I say thank you. And I don't know that I will be calling in all the time. No, and let me explain
I think we figured out what your trigger is. Turtle.
Well, no. Well, Sandra knows this about me. You wouldn't know this, but maybe you do. And maybe some of the listeners do, because they also listen to Sandra's show.
Mm-hmm.
But, I'm a sports person. Especially a cricket fanatic. And there's certain times, that's going on. So,
okay, understood. Understood.
When that's going on, I kind of have to play catch up.
You go MIA. Well, we respect that.
Yeah. It's not live for me, but I still catch.
Yeah. There we go.
And I'm always trying to stay, at least abreast of the geopolitics and stuff, and especially in this time.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
Serious time.
Correct. And this is why at the beginning of my episode now, I am doing a segment. I try to do it in like 2 minutes. That is called Global Local Headlines Roundup. And somebody say, what the heck she talking about over there for? Really? We cannot no longer live in a box. You have to know what's going on. Even if I don't go deep into it, but letting you know, and then it's for you then to go and Google, well, Sabrina said this, Sabrina said that, let me go and look a little bit more. But I've made that a pledge for this year because I'm still evolving this space. And I said, you know what, with what's happening geopolitically, what's happening really on our doorsteps, we're hearing more and more, even our government officials saying they're looking at national security and the possibility of Cuban migrants because of what's happening with Venezuela. But my love, with all of the other persons based on the MOU agreements that some jurisdictions in the region are taking deportees from the United States, we may not only have Cubans coming up on our shores.
Exactly.
So are we prepared for the reality? And these are the topics that I've been talking about national security. Sometimes they're like, Sabrina, where are you digging these things up from? And I realized where the disconnect was because people couldn't understand, why is she talking about this? Why is she talking about standing orders? Why is she talking about the powers of the opposition, the powers of the government? And I wanted to get into did you know that a opposition member can actually present a bill to Parliament? Once the speaker gives approval, that bill could be a significant change in law. And even though that person, that individual, that MP is not a part of the 8 ministers or part of government, they, because of the very standing orders and constitution, can actually provoke or cause the sitting government to take time out of their agenda and debate something that was not necessarily a priority to them just because of process. And people didn't even know. But I tell you what, it's going to be a reality. It's coming.
You know, let me just say something. You brought up Venezuela. No, no one has this me. I'll tell you how I see the whole Venezuela thing. Okay? Venezuela is not the target. Cuba is the target. But to get to Cuba, they had to go to Venezuela.
Can't get quacky, you catch your shirt.
Venezuela is who supplied Cuba with oil. Okay? That was their trade. People may not realize this. Jamaica still has a trade treaty in place with Cuba. Many other Caribbean islands still so, even European countries. I think they missed the big picture that Russia is an ally to Cuba, not because they wanted to be, but because of proximity to the United States. China is also an ally to Cuba. Okay? So, bear in mind that Cuba is really who they got their eyes on. Think about, and Russia already has missiles in Cuba.
There we go. There we go.
Think about what's going to happen the day that Marco Rubio here takes him, which it seems like it's taken him already. But the day he decides to carry through his plan to go invade Cuba, look at where we are. I don't know if anybody knows geography, but I would beg you, please go look at the map. Go look at the map. Okay? You have seen coming to defend us. We belong to hey. And at this very point in time, I don't mean to instill fear in anyone. And then again, if you don't understand it, you know, correct. It's not going to frighten. But at this very time, I wish and I feel the UK should already have planted military right here in the Cayman Islands. You can't wait till it happens. It'll take too long.
Well, I know Her Excellency did actually make an appearance on another station and reassured that, you know, all the communication, the MOUs have been done and they stand, of course, because we're a British overseas territory citizen jurisdiction, that they have maintained communications to make sure that we're safe and that should anything happens, whatever communication was made, she has been assured and she conveyed that to the people. Similar sentiments was shared as well today at the Economic Forum. And they looked even at cybersecurity as well with the threats, the risk, because you don't necessarily have to be shooting missiles off. And, and I digress because just now, as you were speaking, I got compliments of Ford, breaking news article that says in the tech industry, Microsoft gave the FBI's key to unlock encrypted data, exposing a major privacy flaw. Now, I haven't opened it yet because I have to look at that. Now, that plays right into all of this warfare and geopolitical storms and all of this. So, yeah, it's very interesting And I said all of that, and thank you for weighing in on that, is because people may not necessarily understand how some of the subjects and the topics come up, because you can't just go in and let's talk about the petrodollar. Let's talk about cryptocurrency. No, let's take you back. Let's break it down. It's not that I'm saying people are dumb, but you got to understand how we got there, which is why you said if you don't know geography, you don't understand what you're saying. You got to really sometimes show a picture. So this is the environment that we're creating here, because I'm hoping that people will understand, and based on feedback, Miss Brenda, they have been appreciating the level, the research that I'm doing to deliver. But when people like yourself with the passion, speaking about, who we are, preserving who we are, able to comment, it is appreciated, because what you're sharing, what Denver is sharing, what Jim is sharing, what Real Michelle, all of the commenters are sharing. We have Danny that calls in, Mr. Balika calls in. It will amaze you how much people see me when they do see me in the supermarket. Like they're like, even today, not one person passed me didn't say, I like what you're doing. I like what you're doing. Even if they whisper in it, you understand? Because I'm educating. So thinking that because we're the Cayman Islands and we're just right here in the Caribbean, and think what happening in Africa, what happening in Europe may not affect us. You got another guest coming, which is why I take the opportunity to do a global, international headlines roundup, because you never know.
Exactly. And as I said, again, we import everything. Where do we import it from?
Yep.
Eh?
Biggest. We're what in the world, we're one of the highest importers of stuff from the US right now in the region,
And who stands between us and the US?
Cuba.
Thank you. And who does Cuba ally with?
Russia and China.
Okay. Thank you. Okay. So, like I said, it's all about understanding, not what is happening. This is like any old war. Look at the war that's going on there, with the Palestinians, the Israelis, and so on. That's not something that started today. They've been fighting from the days of Jesus. But has it stopped?
No.
No, it hasn't. And it will never stop until two people with good sense sit down and say, why are we killing each other? Let's stop it. This is yours and this is mine. Let us respect that.
Here's a little piece of, go ahead, sorry.
And then other people start interfering for personal gain, then it only adds fuel to the fire. So I say again that we are where we are. The UK is located where they're located. And personally, I would feel a lot better if they were already closer to our shores. And I'm not saying they're not.
They're probably out there somewhere.
Because just remember, when Venezuela was being threatened, Venezuela made sure to get their military on foot, guard their borders. I guess what they never thought of, they wouldn't strike them there. They struck them from the air. So in other words, it's not like they're going to send you an invitation or a telegram to say,
be prepared.
We're
Are
coming
coming.
tonight. Okay. So they locked off one door and the other was open. So I'm just saying that I hope they're already somewhere close, but I would feel a lot better if they were visible. And that at least I say if, and I'm saying if deliberately, anything were to start, we would have some kind of protection.
Already.
We have no bunkers here. We have no silos here. It's just us. And we have no military, okay? Our military is the UK military. And also remember, if something like that happens, they're not just going to strike one, they'll strike all at the same time. So it's going to be basically every man for himself. And it's not like they can send, all of the BA flights in here to say, come load up, come on over, forget what you're leaving behind. It don't work like that. And in war, one thing be sure to have, and that's collateral damage.
Oh, yeah.
And let us pray that Cayman will not be that collateral damage. But how do you try to avoid it? You prepare.
Exactly. And not reactive. This is we have to be proactive here, which is why talking about these things is so important. Denver shared a bit of history with us here. Mr. Donald Dice developed Cayman Rum Point and has Mr. Dice donate 3 parcels of land for public beaches, allowed Caymanians buy property there. It was not developed just for foreigners. That the quality of people we're used to have coming here, and many of those, what did I do? Many of those
Mhm.
I think is
Yeah,
what.
and he's one of those American farms, because it was mostly, America or Canadians at the
Mhm.
time, that didn't have Caymanians in their yard,
Mhm.
either just sitting out there or doing a barbecue or something.
Right.
And you slow down, you look, you were invited in. And to go back to Mr. Dice and his father, see, they were the people who came here, not just to rape and I'm not going to use the other word, sorry. Anyway, this country, they came here because they too saw an opportunity, but they wanted to include the Caymanians in that opportunity. And as Denver said, that's what they did. And they also integrated with the Caymanians.
Mhm.
When they chose companions, they didn't go back home to bring someone from where they came from. They found one of the beautiful Caymanian women, and that's who they married. And then they were afforded the lifestyle that these people could afford to give them.
Mm.
So I just say back then, it wasn't what it is now.
Right. And I
You
guess
know,
with things and times, people change. It's not the same quality of people either. Because I mean, like the first persons, look at, for those who know a little bit of me, my father was one of the first set of Jamaicans that came here as a police officer. When you
I
look
know
at,
that. I know
so
that
it's a
because
different quality. I guess it's just different people that are coming here now. And their way of thinking, their mindset is just so different.
Mhm. And let me just say, the other day on Sandra's show, she was talking about topics, for her TV station and so on. And I wrote and said, um, preserving Caymanian history. It got one like,
Mm-hmm.
one like. And it was from another Caymanian that I know very well, older than me, but would understand the value of that.
Mm-hmm.
And that is what I'm speaking about. So unless you understand it, it means nothing to you.
Mm-hmm.
So for those of us that are still here, I say we have a job to do and we have to continue doing it. So let us involve those who understand, who want to understand our children, their children, and every generation afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
Because if we don't show them and teach them, how are they going to know
It's true.
after we're gone?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It's
They'll
true.
never know.
Mm-hmm. And that's
They'll
where we're
never
gonna
know.
go to heck in the handbasket because and we don't
Exactly.
share those stories anymore. And this is why there's a disconnect, even with cousins and stuff like that. If you don't continue certain gatherings and speak about certain people, you don't even know your family.
Mm-hmm.
So
You know, we are now in an age that our children know nothing
mm-hmm.
about how people communicated. If you were to say to them, write a letter to your friend, they'd laugh at you. Okay? And if you say to them, most children, not all, put your devices down. We're going to play cards, or we can play a board game, or maybe hide and seek, or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
They'd laugh at you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So if we don't keep these things alive and we teach them, I'm not saying they have to do it, but they
Right.
should at least know.
Be aware. Mm-hmm. And awareness is key.
And I think that Hurricane Ivan was perhaps a rude awakening for many of a certain age.
Mm-hmm.
That's why so many people were so depressed and children were left behind because they didn't even know how to get a piece of paper and do math and so on. All of that is being done on their devices or the computer or whatever. And I say, it's good that you have a device that can do it in a hurry for you. But what happens today that we don't have power for about a week? How are you going to figure it out then?
Oh, do you think we got mental problems now? Mental health issues now? Because make the Wi-Fi go out. We're just like lost. But Ms. Brenda, I'm going to ask you to leave me there. It's 6:57. Thank you so much for your contribution. You're getting lots of support here, as I said, and continue to come in. People are just loving it. And you're actually prompting other questions to be asked that's making the conversation so wholesome. Thank you. Please enjoy the weekend.
And to you, I say, keep up your content.
Thank you. Thank you.
Keep it up.
Thank you very much. Take care.
Okay.
There we have it. Real Michelle. Denver, thank you so much. I really appreciate all of this. And, you know, we're going to get to Gen Z's weighing in as well. We're going to get Gino. I'm going to connect with him over the weekend, and we're going to get some more, and we can showcase all of these opinions. And once we remain on the topics at hand, so we just don't get all so flustered with everything that's going on. But each day, 5 days a week from 5 until 7, I'm here, and I love the participation. Thank you. Hey, Miss Sue, good evening. Welcome to you. Jim says, thank you, Miss Brenda, with an exclamation. Donnie, yes, have an awesome weekend. Love to hear Miss Brenda speak. Don says, there we go. So we're going to keep it real here on the Sabrina Speaks podcast. Again, I want to wish you all a very good weekend. Please go out and do your part. Celebrate our national heroes. And if you didn't know, now you know. Go and Google them. There's lots of information on the website letting you know about our history. As Miss Brenda says, go and read up about it. You ain't short about it. We will keep reminding you here on this space, and respect us. That's all we asked for. It has been a pleasure bringing you another episode of Sabrina Speaks. I thank you for your feedback. I thank you for your contribution. Be safe on the roads to all of our young men and women in the uniform services. Thank you for your service. For all of you in the healthcare industry, thank you. Thank you for your service. You're well appreciated. To all of the families who make the sacrifice and understand exactly the role that you play, keeping us safe as we go to bed. You're appreciated. As I usually do, love you lots. God bless. And until Tuesday, have a fabulous, fabulous evening. Bye.
That's a wrap for today's edition of Sabrina Speaks. Thank you for tuning in and for being part of the conversation. Remember, the dialogue doesn't stop here. Stay engaged, stay informed, and most importantly, stay empowered. We'll be back tomorrow at 5 p.m., same time, same place, right here on CMR TV and radio, where your voice matters and your truth is heard. Until then, Cayman, take care of yourself and each other.
That's it for today's edition of Sabrina Speaks, where your voice matters, your story counts, and your truth is always welcome. Join us weekdays from 5 until 6:30 p.m. right here on CMR TV as we dive into the topics that matter most to you. Catch the show live or on demand at cmrtv.com. And don't forget to follow us on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram so you never miss a moment. Until next time, stay informed, stay engaged, and always speak your truth.